What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode. I'm your host, Davon. I am covering Friday Night Smackdown with a nice, lovely review. Appreciate you guys coming out your time, basically come dabbing into everything all nice and sweet. But all the while, let's go ahead and get into everything as things were pretty chill from my own personal opinion. It wasn't a great show, but it was a decent show. Just everything that pretty much went on, you couldn't ask for anything better when it came to the WWE brand. We had a initial debut. We had Cody Rhodes in the house. We had Bailey in the house. We had a lovely two nice triple threat matches. Couldn't ask for anything better. We also initially ended up having a great women's match as well. Things really put in high gear. And also things have shifted when it came to the bloodline. Initially, what can initially happen? Things have really changed in the most drastic way when it came to the land of relevancy, just in general. We had Solo Sikoa stepping up in the biggest way possible as he's looking to be the new tribal chief, and things really taking twists and turns. I'd like to know what's going to happen with Paul Heyman. Where does he stand at this? Is he, how he goes in his roles of things? He's a good when it comes to knowing how to be captivating and keeping the fans truly involved when it comes to everything. And you can truly ask for nothing better when it comes to Paul Heyman. He's a Hall of Famer for a reason. And I'm looking to see what initially would happen when Roman Reigns initially bring himself back on Friday Night Smackdown. But all the while, let's go ahead and get into this initial show. That's what you guys viciously came for. But don't forget to smash that like button so we keep the algorithm moving as well within this actual nice, lovely content. Cody Rhodes initially came out. The crowd was breaking out with "You Deserve a Chance" and getting everything popped in when it came to Detroit. They had a nice, lovely setup when it came to the Friday Night Smackdown tonight because they had a sold-out show, which Paul Levesque did point out that, saying that if they initially end up having more seats filled, they were going to go with the smaller setup. And the smaller setup looks nice under the new era, so you can ask for nothing better when it comes to the WWE just in general. Basically, let's get back into the segment. Cody Rhodes basically talked about everything. He went in about The Rock, initially where everything that had broke down this following Monday. And The Rock basically pointed out that he's going to be coming for Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes basically said, when it comes to a wise woman, when it comes to everything about The Rock, who told you it's open mic night, bitch? Basically handed something to him and go from there. And basically Cody went into details about that initial gift and everything that initially broke down. Then he believes, it says, when The Rock says he's looking for Rhodes when he returns from Hollywood, Cody Rhodes exclaims that he knows that he's not hard to find when it comes to that, when The Rock eventually get involved. He said he'll be right there until then, and Rhodes is more focused on the next challenger he will initially be getting involved with when it comes to the Backlash. He hypes up the competitors who are involved in two triple threat matches who were being on the card for the night. Couldn't ask for anything better. And things really broke down fairly quickly as Cody didn't stay too long when it came to the breakdown of his promo. And that's what I initially thought was going to happen, but it ended up being pretty chill for the most part. Then we show highlights of the Bloodline coming down the hallways, arriving at the arena. Jimmy's all smiles, Solo's a little bit more serious, and you got Paul Heyman in the back, kind of just taking it easy and texting back and forth with Roman Reigns. Then we got things under the way with the number one contenders triple threat qualifying match, which was Bobby Lashley, LA Knight, and Santos Escobar. For my own hot take, this was a decent match. Couldn't ask for anything better. For my own personal opinion, it was a lot of twists and turns, a lot of transitional moves. We ended up having Legado Fantasma getting involved. Same when it came to the Pride, when we had the Street Profits and B5 getting involved, and everybody working into a brawl out. But the initial opinion on the match happened when it came to LA Knight picking up the victory with the BFT on Escobar, and he advanced into the next week's finals of crowning the new number one contender for the WWE Championship. When it comes to all three competitors, they're great in their own right. LA Knight is red hot, so I officially figured out that they were gonna keep pushing him, and this is no longer under the Vince McMahon era. Paul's era is phenomenal. Couldn't ask for anything better when it came to the deliverance, and each week they continue to get him back on the momentum of the win column. And same when it comes to Bobby Lashley, it was a nice little thing of seeing him come back out with his initial podium, and the whole setup with the entrance is a nice little touch. Chef's kiss when it came to that, just in general. And when it comes to Santos, he's in a whole different level when it comes to lucha wrestling, and he has been delivering in the most effective way possible. Then we get to the next segment of the night. It's Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, and Jimmy Uso. Paul Heyman basically was preaching gospel when it came to everything that initially broke down his promo. He talked about the initial pans when it came to Roman Reigns trying to seek a revenge, and he got the best of him when it came to temptation. Cody Rhodes didn't get distracted, and he learned his lesson from last year, and he turned the tables as Roman Reigns got distracted and got defeated. Initially, Heyman started to talk more about Reigns rising like a phoenix, and then Solo ended up putting his hands on Heyman and telling him to shut up. That's when things got super serious. And then Solo Sikoa reminded Paul Heyman directly. He said, as Heyman looked horrified, he says, "Hey, doesn't losers have consequences?" And Paul Heyman looked confused, but stern, like, yeah, they do. When it comes to the blind situation, wins and losses do matter. And then Solo basically pushed, slowly just moved Heyman out the way, and then looked directly at Jimmy Uso, who was smiling, but then it turned serious when he pointed at something. "You talking about me? What did I do? Like, what's up?" And Solo walked up to him, gave him a hug, and then told him he loved him. And then Jimmy said he loved him back. And then we ended up having a masked man with a hoodie coming under, and ended up attacking Jimmy Uso from behind and putting the boots directly to Jimmy Uso as things initially broke down. Then things really went to a true melee as Paul Heyman was looking on, petrified when it came to everything when he was initially in the corner. Then we ended up having Solo putting not one, not two, not three, but multiple Samoan spikes to Jimmy Uso's throat and really just beating him down. Then he told Tama Tonga to go over to the announcers area and give me a chair. Tama went over there and got a chair. He initially handed to Solo. Solo put threw Jimmy into the corner and put the chair hoisted around his neck, positioned him at a certain position. He went over to the corner and ended up hitting that beautiful hip attack and laying Jimmy Uso unconscious from the situation. The fans was chanting yeet, but of course Jey Uso was not in the house initially when it came to how everything broke down when it came to Friday Night Smackdown. Then of course things really broke down to a matter when Paul Heyman, after they stand in their positions as hitting up the ones, Paul Heyman was just about to grab the phone and call Roman Reigns. Solo grabbed it, threw it on the ground, and stepped on it to make a statement. And Heyman didn't know which way to turn. Then Solo panned out to the hard camera and put up that one along with Tama Tonga, as initially saying this is the new bloodline when it comes to everything. Paul Heyman fell in line, did the same initial thing, and they left a presence in the wreckage of taking out Jimmy Uso. They left up the ramp. Medical staff was coming through to initially help when it came to how everything initially broke down. The segment was really good, and you couldn't ask for anything better. The biggest question is, where does Solo go from here? Is he trying to mark as being the new tribal chief? And what's happening with Paul Heyman? Where does he stand? He's initially is a great man when it comes to know how to do the twists and turns, and I look forward to seeing where Paul Heyman stands initially in the near future as well. And then where does Jimmy Uso go from here? Is he going to have his brother come save him? Are we going to have another initial war? Or is Jimmy Uso eventually going to fall in line in the next coming weeks from there? But other than that, let's get into the next follow match. It was Braun Breaker who made another return to Friday Night Smackdown, taking on Cameron Grimes. This match was fast and furious, very quickly. It wasn't out the gates. There was no "this is awesome" into it. Braun, this was initial squash match. This is what it was initially being delivered. Braun Breaker ended up hitting the spear for the 1, 2, 3, and this match ended very quickly as things initially broke down. Then, of course, we pan over to the backstage area where Caleb Braxton went to go check on Jimmy Uso and was trying to get a medical update. Paul Heyman came out and then was trying to give an initial update of initially where everything was going on. And then, of course, who rode up on him? Tama Tonga rode up on him and petrified him as things really broke down from there as Solo had much to say from there and things initially ended in that segment. Then we got to another in-ring segment. It was Bayley coming out as a celebration as the being the new WWE Women's Champion. Of course, the fans in Detroit was red hot. They were chanting, "You deserve it." She initially talked about her title win at WrestleMania was special. The fans made it special. Then we had before she got into more of her promo, Tiffany Stratton came out to interrupt her, and Bayley said, and Stratton says it was a bit rude that she didn't get a chance to compete at WrestleMania, but she also says Bayley is obviously building towards an open challenge, and she so accepts it. And of course, Bayley says she tells Stratton that she's actually has someone specific in mind. She says she's a legend in this business, and she's a cornerstone, and she want to give her a shot. And she said, and she called out who it was, which was initially unknown. Naomi. Naomi came out red hot to the crowd with the glow. She was excited, got a nice little hairdo and everything under the sun, which looked nice when it came to the glow gimmick. And then Tiffany Stratton started to scold her and talked about she couldn't win a championship even if it was glowing in the dark. And also she said in the middle of other things, she reminded Naomi that she beat her. Then Naomi basically told her, you came at the wrong time, wrong day. Before she even accepted Bayley's match, she said she had to beat Tiffany Stratton tonight, and they got it next when it came to the initial main event. Then things broke down for the initial singles women's action. Couldn't ask for anything better. It was a lot of back and forth, a lot of chain wrestling, a lot of suplexes, a lot of turnouts, split splashes from Naomi, a nice disaster kick as well, and things interchanged. It was a decent women's match. It wasn't too bad. It was okay for my own personal opinion. The conclusion of the match happened when Tiffany Stratton was trying to go for the prettiest moonsault ever, missed it, and Naomi ended up steamrolling with a nice jackknife cover roll up, fitting the 1, 2, 3 to avoid getting that hit with that devastating move. Bayley was at ringside and she was excited when it came to how everything initially broke down. And really, she got that now set up as Naomi is going to be a tough competitor when it comes to Bayley. And I look forward to seeing that women's match go the distance. And you can't ask for anything better when it comes to those ladies. Then we have Jade Cargill, Bianca Belair versus Piper Nivens and Chelsea Green in tag team action. This match was decent. Fast and Furious. This was a killer match off the back when it came to just being a squash as well. It was a lot of back and forth. Jay got the hot tag. Initially got the pump kick in, and it ended up pinning Chelsea Green with the Jade for the 1, 2, 3 as Jay Cargill and Bianca was looking victorious, looking promising as being a dominant tag team as they looking to become tag team champions. So we initially shall see what happens in the long run when it comes to this women division. Can't ask for anything better when it comes to those ladies. Then we got to the next initial backstage with Kevin Owens talking, and he grabbed the mic and he expressed that he enjoyed how all the new setups have been when it comes to the main event, getting the backstage entrance heading towards Gorilla, and he initially wanted to do the same thing because he felt like it was pretty cool. Then he came out, then we got things underway for the main event of the night. It was Kevin Owens, AJ Styles, and Rey Mysterio's. I'll give this match a decent match as well. It was okay. It wasn't a sleeper. It was a lot of back and forth action. Rey Mysterio did some nice prop spots. Transitional chain wrestling from all competitors. Double team moves as well, including a nice little suplex powerbomb combination. And then initial end of the match happened when it came to AJ Styles catching and reversing Rey Mysterio, who initially was trying to do a Hurricanrana. and AJ Styles ended up hitting a style clash directly off the top ropes, where it initially crushed Kevin Owens and picked up the victory. Post match, after the match, we ended up having LA Knight coming out, having a face-to-face, nose-to-nose, and they ended up scolding each other back and forth as the camera went directly off the air. But initially, the whole entire night was great when it came to everything that initially happened tonight on Friday Night SmackDown. Couldn't ask for anything better without having big players on the card. No Roman Reigns. Cody Rhodes was there for a little bit, but nobody initially, everybody else that was this evolved. Solo came out as teasing as being the new official tribal chief, but we shall see what happens in the long run. But I appreciate you guys coming through. Show your love. Don't forget to share this comment. Post your comments down below. Like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.